Part 2 to our bug book. As day turns into night, some insects are just waking up. Whether they are trying to keep from being eaten or getting ready for a meal, night is a pretty lively time in Bugland. The moon moth. The first time it flies, the Indian moon moth takes to the air after dark to avoid being eaten. It doesn't have a mouth because it only lives long enough to survive on the food it ate when it was a caterpillar. Fireflies and glowworms use a special organ in their tummies to flash light signals in order to communicate with each other. Sometimes hundreds gather together to attract mates and can be seen for miles, like this one. If you find a body of water, chances are it's filled with mini life, but you may have to look closely to see some of it. Many bugs live in or above the water, and some can even walk on the surface. The diving beetle is the great meat eater of the water. It tucks a bubble of air under its wings so it can breathe underwater and dive down to catch tadpoles and even small fish. Pond skaters can walk on water because of thick waterproof hairs on their feet. They skim over the surface looking for floating food. Look at this. The water boatman. The water boatman hangs upside down just beneath the surface. It looks like a little boat, and its back legs are just like oars, which is how it got its name. The beautiful dragonfly lives above water. It is called the dragonfly because of its very aggressive dragon-like behavior. Deep in the jungle. Nobody knows how many species of bugs there are in the jungle. New ones are being found all the time, which means that there are a lot more to be discovered. The ones we do know, however, are pretty odd. Look at the lanternfly. The lanternfly gets its name from its very long neck. Look at that long neck. It sticks out of its body and has a bright end on it. Some lanternflies are actually bugs, not flies. Some lanternflies, which are actually bugs, not flies, are huge with a wingspan of up to 6 inches. The Queen Alexandra's birdwing is the largest butterfly in the world, and it's one of the rarest. Look at the tiny spiny. The postman butterfly caterpillar has sharp spikes all over its body, which protect it from predators. It feeds on poisonous passionflower leaves that are absorbed in its body and makes it poisonous. There are so many bugs that have evolved mysterious habits and strange looks that they could fill a whole book. Here is a small selection from around the world. How weird would it be to have eyes on the end of stalks? The eyes of stalk-eyed flies are on the top of long stalks. Stick your neck out. Why does the giraffe weevil have such a long neck? No one knows, but it certainly makes one of the weirdest looking bugs. If you came across this katydid in the jungle, you'd be forgiven for thinking that we'd just been invaded by aliens with his spiny body and strange colors. Whether you like them or not, bugs are an essential part of our lives. We spend a lot of time trying to get rid of them, but we could not live without them. The honeybee. Without bees helping to pollinate by moving pollen from flower to flower, we wouldn't have nearly as many plants as we do. Bees also supply us with endless amounts of sweet honey. Did you know that when you wear silk, you are actually wearing material made by a caterpillar? When the silk moth caterpillar pupates, it makes a silky lining for its cocoon, which we use to weave into cloth. About 500 types of insect provide a good, healthy snack for people around the world. These crickets give these lollipops a good crunch to look forward to. These crickets are inside of lollipops. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about